Hello and welcome to my channel. This is what the family tree page looks like when you come to it. Now, this of course is your ad, and my ad was showing me a lot of Terry Pratchett books since I just ordered the first 5 in the Discworld series. So that doesn't matter, and I didn't want it to be distracting, so I did that for you guys. This is the list of names of people in the tree, and it tells you a few things about the tree, but this is the page you see when you get here. There is also a spoiler alert bar that tells you when things have been updated, like what it has been updated to. And then she has also, this was all created by Lindsay, she has also linked my spreadsheet and Morbid's rules for the Ultimate Decades Challenge. So it is very cool. The only thing that I don't like about it, the only I want to view the tree. There we go. The only thing I don't like about it is that it does not have an unlimited number of pictures that you can put in there without having to pay for it. And we should not be spending money on a video game like that. I mean, of course we spend money on a video game, but not on something like this that goes with the game. So we also cannot look at a lot of generations at one time. Like I'm on Edmund right now. So I can come here. This is looking at the family view. You have a few different ways that you can look at this. And Edmund had 19 children. I cannot believe I remembered that. And I got it right. 19 children, apparently in 19 years, because they got married in 1300 and their last baby was born in 1319. So this woman gave birth to 19 children in 19 years. Wow. Wow is all I'm going to say. Wow. So from here, we can't really tell who became the next heir and who went on, but we know that it was Hugh. And so then I click on Hugh and we have his picture because I have a picture of all of the heirs. And so his life stage is elder. He was born a twin and had a twin named Edward. So Hugh and Edward were twins, but Edward died at birth, I'm pretty sure. Anyway, after his dad had 19 children, Hugh only had 4. And so Sebastian died as soon as he was born. Hannah actually lived to be a child and then she died. And then John was born and he became our next elder. And John, after his dad had 4 children, he had 10 children. But as we can see, Sarah, Carol, Sebastian, and Felicia all died in 1348 in the plague, as did John at only age 24. So when he died, the day of the plague in 1348, Keziah and Kellen Miller were born, and Keziah died as a child, and Kellen lived and became our next heir. And here's Kellen. Also, when you're here looking at this, you can see the stuff over here, and she's even included that he was part of the part 2 of the 100-year war. He had to go to war. I just think that's so cool that she's included all that stuff. So he was born a twin. His twin's name is Keziah, and he died as an adult at age 26 when he just rolled to die. But he had 5 children before that happened. Sebastian was his very first child, and he lived and became the heir. Then Isla died, and Ida died at childbirth. Then we had Rose, and then we had Kellen. So Sebastian, Rose, and Kellen are all still alive, and Sebastian is our new heir, and he got married to Alice, and so far they have had 8 children, and Alice is pregnant again. So out of these 8 children, we keep having a real problem getting them out of childhood or into childhood. So Grace was stillborn. Alice lived to be a child, and then she died. Ida lived, and she's the only one so far that has lived into childhood. Her twin, Sebastian, died as a child. We thought he was going to be our heir, but he did not. Then Ruth was born, and Ruth right now is a toddler and still alive. Then Kellen was born and died at birth, and so did Claire, died at birth. So now Harris is born, and Harris is an infant. So we have Harris the infant, Ruth the toddler, and Ida the child right now at our house, which means Harris is potentially our next heir. And that is it. That's where we are. That's what's going on. More Terry Pratchett books up at the top. But there are so many different ways that you can look at this. See, you can look by descendants right here, and it tells you generation. Oh, that's what I was going to show you too. She showed me this part. Let's go all the way back to Edmund. Okay, so generation one is 19 children. Generation 2, 19 grandchildren. Generation 3, 45 great-grandchildren, which you can go down and see. They're all in this row right here, this whole line. And if they're written like that, that's their spouses. So these are all the children. There should be 45 of them in this list. So let me scroll back up to the top. And generation 4, 77 descendants. So it looks like the first one was born in 1351 is when this generation started. And so anyway, this is the whole list of everybody. And these are the ones that are actually, most of them have already died. There are a couple. Let's see. Isabel Keene is still alive. Elijah and Lenata. Okay. This generation 4 is Sebastian's generation. So there's Sebastian right here. And we have people who have not gotten married yet in this generation, and we have people who have already married and had all their children, because our generations are now spanning longer time periods than they were before. And so this whole Price family is practically dead at this point, and that's that generation. And that is how it goes. It's all split off from their descendants, like Mary Miller, and this is where we get our colors. Somebody asked about that the other day, where the colors come from. And the main thing is, if the way it started was that out of the 19 children that Edmund and Grace had, only 4 of them had children. So Hugh became our heir, and he had children. And I mean children who lived, not like actual children. Mary had children with Adrian. And like, say, Michael and Bernard and Daniel had children that did not live. But then Clara was our other one who had children. So what I did was, everybody that was an heir was green. And then their direct siblings and their families were purple. So that's where we get green and purple. Green is the actual heir. So Sebastian is the heir. And then his siblings, Rose and Kellen, are purple. And once Sebastian becomes the heir, his mom, Ida, becomes purple, because she's no longer married to the heir anymore. I hope that makes sense. So Sebastian is green right now, but when Sebastian dies, his wife will become purple once he has a son that takes over. So anyway, these other families that all came from Hugh, they're all purple. So everybody that came from Hugh is purple. Then for Mary's, her children, actually 2 of them, determine the colors. Frey left and went to France. So he determines the red colors. But her other child, Gwendolyn, stayed. So Gwendolyn Clark determined the yellow colors. So that's where our red and yellow came from. They actually both came from Mary, but when her children kind of split up and Frey moved to France, it was just easier to say, okay, all of our French family, which is all of Frey's descendants, are going to be red, and Gwendolyn's are going to be yellow. So everybody from Gwendolyn, which they had, Gwendolyn and Christopher had a lot of kids who lived. And so Denise Cooper married Sebastian Hammond, and they had all of these children. And then Bella Cooper married Andrew Archer, and they had these. And Gold Cooper married Kean Goodwin, and they had all of these kids who lived. Remember, all these Goodwin kids lived? So it was just that Gwendolyn, all of the ones who lived, had a lot of kids. So anyway, now back to the last one, the Blue family. They all came from Clara Miller. She had 2 children, Nathaniel and Penelope. Nathaniel had a horrible life, lost 2 wives and 2 children, and none of them lived. But Penelope did. And so she married Stein Reese, and they had 4 children, but only one of them had children. And Francine married Arthur Price, and they had a lot of children, and that is our Blue family. So I hope that makes more sense if you were wondering about the colors and where they all came from and all of that stuff. So I wish we could look at one more generation, because we definitely have another generation. What if I did this with Hugh? and we could see that there was only 4 children, and then we do have this next group. Oh, we even have another generation from there. Let's do John. Oh, it says generation 4 is empty. Okay, so we don't have any from there. And if I click on Hugh, it's only Hugh's people and not everybody's descendants. So I want to figure out how to make it more than 4 generations. But there are tons of things that you can do. The kinship tool is not available for free. That's totally fine. And then there are different reports that you can do if you just wanted to look at stuff. Okay, so I see right here that you can't see descendant reports for 5 or 7 generations unless you click the upgrade link. So that they want you to pay to be able to do that. We don't have maps because that's not on the free sites. They also have these decorative family tree things that are also not worth paying for all of that. So anyway, that is just a look at where we are, what's going on. Not a lot changed since I did the update at the beginning of the year. Like, we haven't had a big shakeup anywhere. We do still have every color is still represented with somebody who is trying to have babies or grow up and get married. And so hopefully all of our colors will hang in there. We do only have 2 blue people left having babies, but hopefully that will continue and they will come back and be stronger than ever. I am going to go over and show you the update that I did on the house a little bit. I just wanted to give Uncle Kellen kind of his own space, and so I'll send you over there. So I kind of took the area behind the barn and I rearranged some things. So I moved around the bathroom space and all of that area over there, and I got a bigger bed for Kellen and just made him his own space out here. I created a wall and I changed up where the door was. I just wanted him to be able to have a space that was away from the house and his own. And so I left all of his woodworking stuff where he had it before, but I moved the woodworking table that was already in here and kind of put it in his room. I also took a dresser from the house and I moved it over in here. I did get rid of the bathtub completely that was in here, and I put in new lights and everything. So I really like it. I feel like while it's only a bedroom, I do feel like it offers him like space to be by himself and more independent than he has been. And so I really like it. It doesn't offer a lot of space, but I did make sure that there was enough room in between. I had to move the walls out just a little bit, but I did test out and make sure that the toilet and everything worked in there with the space that we had. And so that's it. He just has his own cozy little space. It's up there on the edge of the property where his selling table is, so that he can continue to work on that and sell his creations and his plants. And yeah, that's it. So I had fun decorating this little spot for Kellen, and I'm excited to have him get in his new room and start playing. Okay, we are also going to take a tour of the new wedding venue that we have in France that someone made for us. So anytime you want to make anything, if you don't see it in the game or you don't see me looking at it at any point in any of the videos, feel free to comment and say, I left something for you, go check it out or whatever, and I will definitely do that. So we have, of course, a door and these beautiful stained glass windows. I love it. Anyway, inside we have the aisle, and oh, I love that. I didn't know that was how that looked, but I guess it does. Okay. I guess it shows you on the rose petals which end needs to be next to the thing. Anyway, and here are the chairs, which nobody ever sits in because I never can get a wedding to work right. But there's also tables over here for people to sit and eat. There's a lot. And there's even like a dance floor. That is so elegant looking. I guess it's a dance floor. Let me see. The eloquent occasion dance floor. Well, there you go. I said elegant. It's an eloquent one. No, just kidding. I love this piano. It's beautiful. Like, I feel like back then, where we have it set, this would have been like hand carved out. Now I'm sure they have a scroll saw or something they can program it into, but back in the 1400s, it would have been done by hand. Anyway, so this is it. I love it. We will start having weddings here as soon as our first person in France gets married. We're going to ignore the fact that it's like on a dock surrounded by fishermen and all that kind of stuff. Anyway, oh, did I accidentally grab a window? Sorry. So yeah, this is our new French. Oh yeah, one more thing. Behind the arch, the wedding arch, is another beautiful stained glass. You can see it from back here better, but well, you can see it better. Hey, why don't I just make it daytime? There we go. I think it's so pretty, all the stained glass that was used in here. So that is it, and I love it. Let me know again if you don't see something that you have purposefully created for the game, or characters that you have created. If you don't see them, then say something in the comments, because like with that one right there, it was one letter off in the hashtag, and so it wasn't showing up in the hashtag build. So I had to go to her gallery ID and get it from there. So while we're here, and in our little bonus episode right here, we're just going to look through everything that has been up and add anybody that we need to add to the world. Okay, so looking through this, it looks like I have added everybody in. Shauna created a family of siblings from child to young adult. They're the Walters family. I love them. They're super cute. So they have been added in already, and they will be added as spouses as we need people to get married. I think that's great. These were uploaded a long time ago, and either they didn't have the right hashtag or they forgot to upload them. I can't remember what they said the problem was, but this is Sam, I think, is what they said to call them. So this is Hope and Faith, and they are added to the game, and they will be getting married as well when we come around to them. So also, if you're watching the 100 Baby Challenge, Lizzieette has finished making our house, and I cannot wait to move in on Monday. So that, I think, covers everything. All of the changes that have been made to our family, or anything else that needed to be changed or added or whatever. So if you have followed along and seen all the videos, you have watched 90 years worth of one family's life. And I cannot wait, or 95 years actually. I cannot wait for these last 5 years. And I have so many ideas and so many things planned for when we reach 100 years. But if you have any ideas, I would love to hear about them. Please let me know down below. Sometimes I film ahead when I have events coming up or reasons that I'm going to be out of town. So if you always want to get the questions or be able to have input in what's happening in real time, make sure you join our Discord. Discord is very easy to do if you have never done it before. I had never done it before I started this channel. So it is not a complicated channel over there on Discord. It doesn't have a ton of things. It has grown since we've had more people and I've learned more about it, but it is still not complicated. So come join us. And if you have any questions, as soon as you join, a few people are going to but comment and ask if you have any questions or anything. And people over there are so nice and so helpful. And so we would love to have you join us. And then you would get real-time input, because I will literally sometimes be in the middle of recording and be like, what should I do? And I'll just go ask on Discord and be like, what do you guys think about this? And so it is definitely more of a real-time update on what's happening than it is over here. And also, whatever video is coming out for the day, the night before, you always get an early release of the video the night before it comes out on YouTube, if you're on Discord. So that is going to do it. Thank you so much for watching and joining this family. I am having a blast, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.